Okay, welcome. We are going to look at some tin basics in 12D. So creating a tin, nulling a tin, and just working with tins on a basic level before we get into anything more advanced. So here, essentially we're going to look at creating a tin from existing data set. So we've got our data here, nice little unsuitable pickup. It's already processed, ready to be triangulated. So let's create a tin. Tins create, triangulate data. Now, I have 3 tabs here, all pretty straightforward. So on the general tab, again, just doing the basics. So we want to give the tin a name, which is the name for the surface. Okay, so there's actually 2 components to a tin in 12D, and that is its name. So it will exist as a tin with this name, but then the model or layer for the tin, which is how you will find the tin, turn it on and view it. So it's important that you know not just what the tin name is, but the model for the tin also. So this one we're just going to call unsuitable. For this example, today's date will do. Now, that's what the tin is going to be called. So whenever you're referring to a tin feature, that is what the tin will be listed as. But that isn't the layer for the tin. We always want to put a tin on its own layer. It can become quite difficult if you put a tin on the same layer as other data. For instance, if I put this tin on this layer, it's going to become very messy. So you want the tin to be on its own model, essentially. So in 12D, if you get to the end of typing the name of the tin and hit enter or return, it will automatically create a model or layer with the same name but the prefix tin. You do want to keep that prefix. This / is a new version 15 thing to do with grouping. I don't use it personally, so I just remove that /. So now we have a model or layer for the tin, and we have a name for the tin. If you're working on a detailed job, sometimes it's good to pick certain colours for certain things. You might want to make all your unsuitable red or something. Tin style you do not change, and most of this you don't ever touch. So that's it. Essentially, general tab, giving it a name and a colour and a layer. And we're going to go to the data. The data is the source. Fortunately, in 12D, we're yet to get a way to pick maybe just one string on a model or something like that. So you do need to either only have what you want to tin turned on one of your views, in which case you could tin the data by the view source. Okay. Or more often than not, you'll be using a model or multiple models. If you're using multiple models, you could select them in here, but honestly it's easy just to turn multiple models onto a view and then triangulate the view. For this example, I'm going to just use this model, so I've just center clicked in that box, center click on that data, and I will select the model that data is on. Okay. Now, the nulling tab. So we'll go back here and just explain this. Data polygon means you might want to only tin, say 50% of this unsuitable. So you could draw a data polygon around that on a separate model. You wouldn't want it on this model because it would tin it, and it would only tin what was in that data polygon. Nulling. Nulling is what will essentially eliminate all the very acute triangles that you will get on the edges of tins. If you have experience with DTMs or tins, you'll know that when you tin things, you'll get little triangles along the edge. This function and these presets generally help eliminate them. So a lot of the times you will apply nulling. You can tweak these if you know what you're doing. Also, if you have drawn a boundary all the way around your data, you could also select that, and then that will automatically trim everything to that data polygon. But sometimes it fails. So I'm going to get rid of that. And for this instance, because we're also going to go through manually nulling tins, I'm going to uncheck that. You would normally have it checked for most situations. Okay, and that's it. So we are going to triangulate that data, and it automatically jumps into this, which is the re-triangulate function. So if you wanted to adjust the tin and re-triangulate it, so create the triangulation anew, it takes you to this box automatically. One good thing here to check is your Z-min and Z-max that it's listed, and make sure there's nothing crazy in there like zeros or 99999 figures. It's always a good little oversight. So here you can see we've got no nulling on, got your data, so maybe you might need to add a model, add that in there, or amend the data that's part of this tin. But for this example, we're not doing that. So now we're going to find our tin. Now you can add it, scroll, try and look for it. You can search here for it. Beauty having a prefix of tin is you type in tin and you're going to get everything to do with tins. Okay, or you can hover over the plus without actually typing it. Just press T and that will automatically start the search function for you without opening up the model list. There's a lot of tins in this project, so we're going to actually search by date. So I know that's today's date, 22nd of the 8th, 24, and there's our answer. Okay. Now you can see all these edge triangles, right? It might be hard to figure out, well, where is the edge of my pickup. So what happens is, as you turn on models in 12D, every time you turn on a model, by default it is on top, it is layered on top of the previous models already turned on the view. So you can right click on your little view control box up here, the three lines, and go settings, models, and you go move to back. And I'm going to move the tin to the back, and now you can see the pickup data has come forward, or in this case the tin's gone back. And you can see these edge triangles that you do not want. Okay. Now, okay. So what we're going to do here is null, and this one's not too bad, but we want to null this triangle, we want to get rid of it. So in 12D it's called nulling, which is essentially deleting the triangle. So tins, utilities, and sorry, not utility, tins, null. Generally, you'll use probably one or two features in here. There's obviously an extensive way to do nulling. As usual, 12D, there's a million ways to do anything. But the two most used ones are probably by polygon, or and we could use that in this case because we do have a closed polygon on the outside, or by strings. You'll see this. We're going to find our tin, and I'm going to find it by using the date attached to the tin, so 22nd of the 8th. Okay, so these are your different options. So if you right click on this little cursor icon, you'll see these different choices, and this is the method you're going to use. You can draw a lasso, you can draw a line, you can pick a string, like if you had a string that went across the triangle, you can pick that. Quite often I'm using the second option. And just draw a line across the edge of that triangle, and you can then hit set, or if you turn on null on the acceptor strings, right, it will automatically do it for you. Just a little bit more dangerous. Anyway, so in this instance, you can see the rest of our tin's good. We've nulled the edges, but whoops, accidentally deleted a triangle that we didn't want to delete. Okay. Always important in 12D to keep track of the functions you're using. So like I might use retriangulate again, so I'm just going to leave that open until I know I don't need it anymore. I'm going to leave open this null feature because I might need it again. So basically until I'm ready to run the volume on this, I'm just going to leave those functions open. So to reset a triangle, go tin's null back in here, go by points. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is the only way to put a triangle back. So we're going to find the tin again by using the date. Instead of using null, use reset. I'm just going to click where that triangle was, and you can see it's drawn back in one triangle and two triangles. Okay, so that tin is now nulled. I'm pretty confident I don't need any of that again. One way to check that your triangles have gone back is to use your toggle and go solid. Okay, and you can see that that's all good. Okay, and that's essentially basic tin ready. You've got the perimeter null, you don't have any additional unwanted triangles, and that tin would essentially be good for running a quantity now.